Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, my name is Jessica of Elo's Hair. Welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I make my custom units using a sewing machine. I'm going to have a list of all the basics you'll need listed in the description box, so make sure you check it out. Also, if you want to see a video on how I set up my machine to prep for this, let me know. So first, you're going to get your wig cap, put it on your dome head. Today the dome head we're using is a size 22, which is my head circumference. Make sure you have your measurements before you start. So you're going to use your T-pins and you're going to pull the back of the wig cap that's supposed to act as the nape of your neck. Make sure you pull it back straight and flat, so it's like really taut at the back. That way when you wear your wig at the end, it's like it just sits properly, it sits better. So you're gonna of course go in with your Elo's bundles, and then you're gonna start with the closure. Make sure you pull it flat across the dome head, and then pull it like just a little bit, like 3/4 of an inch above the wig cap, and then make sure you pin it in place so that when you start to sew, the hair doesn't get in the way. And when I start to sew, guys, I usually use a thread and needle to sew, only because I prefer it to using a machine to sew my closures or frontals on, because it's easier. And then when I sew with a thread and needle, as you'll see, I usually start in the middle and then work my way to the sides. So like I start in the middle and sew all the way to the left, and then come back to the middle again and then sew to the right. And then I'm gonna go in with my white chalk. You guys can use your marker, white marker, or a liner, whatever it is that you have, to mark the lines. We do the lines so that it helps us when we're sewing to know like where exactly we want the tracks to go. So we just do them like across from one side of the wig caps to the other. I use a white chalk because I can always just clean it off if I like make a mistake, because as you'll see, my lines are not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to go like straight across, because it's just there as a guide to show you like where exactly you want your tracks to go. So you see, it's not perfect. And so after that, now I just go on and sew in my closure. I use a curved needle instead of a straight needle because it's easier and you will not stab yourself with it. Here you guys see what I mean when I say I start from the middle and then work my way towards the left side first. And then when I'm done with this side, I go back in and do the same thing on the other side. It's just a simple sewing method. It's just like, you know, put it in, take it out, loop it twice. And then when I get to the end, I loop it, I think 3 times. And then I cut it with parts of the thread still attached. And then I loop that twice and then cut it off close to the end. I'm not that great of explaining, but you'll see it. So now that that's sewn down, we're going to put that aside and move on to our bundles. So we're going to be doubling the width. Literally what that means, we're doubling the width. So you're going to fold your track in half, and then you're going to put it under. I try to zoom in so you guys can see. I really hope you can see what I'm doing here. So I just like line the tracks together, and I try to like hold it. The feeder is going to be pulling the hair through, but you also want to like guide it so like it doesn't sew like all over the hair itself. You actually want to sew on top of the part that's already sewn, like the wefted part of the hair. You want to try and just put both tracks together and sew on top of that, if that makes any sense. Like I said, I'm not that good at explaining, but you can at least see what I'm doing. So you're just going to do that all the way till you get to the end of the track. And then you're going to make sure you do this for all your bundles, except if you want to like, you know, do single bundles at the top of your wig. But yeah, if you want to double your width, this is basically how you do it. So once you're done with that, we're going to be doing the exact same thing, but this time around we're going to be sewing on the tracks to the wig cap. So remember the lines that you drew as a guide, make sure you follow that. You're going to take your tracks, put them on the lines as you see me do. So usually when I start a line, I hold down this, I don't know what this like reverse button is at the top. I sew a little bit, and then I hold the reverse button, and then I go back and forth. I do that about 3 different times, just so I'm sure that that edge of the wig cap is secure so the tracks don't come off. And then I just go ahead, follow the line, and sew it all the way down to the other side of the wig cap. And guys, as you're sewing, please take your time. Make sure you're like spreading out your wig cap. Don't tug at it too much, just like spread it and just let that feeder like pull the wig cap and the hair through. Like I said, do not stretch it, if not it's going to be too big, and don't just let it run, if not it's going to be too tight. So I try to give you guys a close-up, so this is exactly what I mean by do not pull the wig cap, just let it run through. Don't leave it alone, just like make sure you spread it so that the feeder and everything will just go like, you know, smoothly. And when we get to the end of this line, we're going to do the same thing we did at the beginning, which is to hold the reverse button back and forth like 3 different times to make sure that that track is in that wig cap and not going anywhere. And this is what it should look like, or something similar. If this is your first time, it might take some getting used to. And then this is the important part. If you are not comfortable, just take it off and sew it with a thread and needle. But if you feel like you've got this, then, you know, just go ahead and repeat the same steps. But you got to be very careful because, guys, this is the top of your wig. If you messed up anywhere else, you need to make sure you do not mess up here. If not, it's just going to make your wig look really wonky. So like I said, take your time. This video is sped up for you guys, so so it's not too long, but it took me a little while to do this. So just take your time and feed it through. Make sure you spread it out. Don't tug, don't just leave it, but like spread it out, and you should have wonderful results. So we're doing the same thing once again, and this is our very last track. This part goes above that lace. So like I said, take your time, be careful. We don't want a wonky looking wig, we want a nice wig. So yeah, just take your time. And this should be the final result. And look at that, you've made your very own custom wig. And so the next step is just to cut off that excess wig cap, the part that's under the lace. So just get your scissors, be careful. I try not to go too close to like the thread when cutting this. Just leave like a little bit of space, okay? Like you can trim the ends to like make it look pretty, like just make it look clean, That's what I meant. But yeah, don't go too close to the thread because you do not want it unraveling. And there you go. You've made your very own custom unit. Let me know how much you guys like this video. Like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, any thoughts you would like to share on this video, leave it down in the comments section, okay? And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.